Hey guys, it's CutLightSmoke back again for Stoke O'Clock. Today we've got another cigar accessory review for you. Today we are taking a look at the Colibri SV Cut. Now that means the straight and V cut in one cutter, believe it or not. How cool is that? So with this, Colibri was generous enough to send me this for review. I've been kind of eyeing this thing for a bit anyways, and it's pretty cool. So this thing retails for $75, and it features their original V-cut that's very, very popular. It's got the spring-loaded cutter as well, just like the original. But the cool thing is, if you flip it over, you have a straight cut on the back. And it's kind of along the lines of the same idea of the Perfect cutters by Cuban Crafters, similar idea there. Now it limits your straight cut to a 3mm cut on there, and it can accommodate, they say, 68 to 70 ring gauge on the straight side. It's a little bit bigger than the V cut side. Now that one you can't fit quite as big. I'd say probably you might be able to get like a 60 to 64 ring in there without testing that. I'm not a huge fan of very fat cigars anyways, so doesn't really bother me. Most of the stuff I smoke is a lot skinnier than that. So the cool thing with this is also, they haven't advertised this, at least not on the website, but you can use this thing as a cigar rest. Whether you put it straight up and down and rest your cigar there, or this way, or you turn it sideways and then you rest your cigar that way. But it basically has kind of some notches in there where you could rest really any cigar on this thing if you don't have a cigar rest with you. So it makes it a little easier for that. Again, it is spring loaded, so it shoots on out there once you depress this little button here. So you push that down and then boom, the cutter comes out, and then either your V cut you push down on, or your straight cut, you do the same thing. Now as far as reliability with this, I've gotten a chance to use this quite a bit. The V-cut has every single time been absolutely perfect. I have run into a couple issues with the straight cut though. It has been pretty good. It's been relatively sharp. But I had it crack a couple cigars on the head. Those were properly humidified. It shouldn't have happened. And then the other thing that I notice is that it's the same thing with the straight cut. Whoops, if I don't drop this thing. The Cuban Crafters Perfect cutter has the same problem, which used to be my go-to cutter actually. Very reliable, very sharp. These blades are sharp, don't get me wrong. This will cut a cigar no problem, but you have to really push the cigar in there to get a consistent straight cut on the whole thing. What happens is if you don't push it in hard enough and you squeeze this, it'll basically kind of push out as it gets to the center, and then you have this little bump of tobacco almost on the center of the head of your cigar. It's just the nature of these kind of cutters. You can't really do a whole lot about that other than, like I said, push it really hard into there. If the blades were a little bit sharper, that might not be as big of an issue. I have run into, you know, most of the Cigar cutters that I've ever used have been absolutely perfect, regardless of how much I push them down, you know. They just work. So Colibri's got some good cutters out there, especially their V cutter. I really like their V cutter, and this incorporates that exact same design and size with the added option of a straight cut on the back. Now, like I said, I had just a couple issues with it. Every other cigar I cut with both the straight and the V cut were perfect. So I'm not going to really knock it too hard. It's just, I expected it to be a little bit sharper, I guess I could say. So, but anyways, it is kind of nice having the rest on there too. This cutter is very heavy. I would say this thing is pushing probably a quarter pound. I don't know, I haven't weighed it or anything, and I can't find it online on the weight. But it's a hefty cutter. You know, it's not light by any means. So you'll feel this thing carrying it around. Size-wise, it's pretty similar to the original V cutters. I believe the depth is just a little bit more on that, so you add a little bit of weight that way. But overall, it's a very, very good, effective cutter, and you can carry this around without having to have two cutters, and you have the option to use both. So definitely recommend it. It is $75. So that's getting a little bit higher there on the price, but it's kind of cool to have the convenience of the two. So definitely recommend checking it out if you're looking for either or both. But if you guys like my video, hit the like button, subscribe, check out irobusto.com for my full written review on this, as well as some more pictures and all sorts of other reviews from myself as well as the rest of our staff. And until next time, you guys keep it smoky, and I'll catch you later. See ya!